Oh, wow.
I died.
Well,
guys, I died.
Well, there was a reason we were in the rowboat, Nomi.
How did you die?
Because she went in the water like a fool, What do you think the rowboat was for? Wait. Nomi, did you do it for the science?
I was trying to go get some ice cream.
You could have redeemed yourself and said, guys, I did it for the science, and I would have respected you. But since you did it for ice cream, I can't respect that.
I was going to bring you some.
It's still not for the science.
Row your boat.
Gently down the street.
Down the street.
Man, this thing turned.
Life is but a dream. Good morning, everyone. I need to double check, of course, to make sure the sound is coming through. It is. It is, in fact, coming through nice, loudly, clearly, hopefully. I mean, you guys will, of course, let me know if there's problems on the horizon. But anyway, welcome in. I see some people saying an unofficial welcome to the Rebellion raid. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We've got some really fun artwork to do today. I started with my face. I decided to go green. Yes. I thought it kind of matched my make art. You can't see that. Make art, not content t-shirt that I love to wear, which can be yours. It's in the linked pinned comment thing. I got to mention these things. You got to mention these things. I see somebody said, I'm still waiting for my Like a Fool t-shirt. If you guys didn't understand maybe the video that I just played, but they are available for a limited time there. You can wear a dead Nomi on your chest, because who wouldn't want that, by the way. Before I say hello to everybody and we get everything rolling, you may have, let me also silence my mobile device too, so we have all the time together. I haven't been around for a while and I haven't been very consistent, and there's a reason for that. However, I'm not going to get into the details too much of that, but if you would like to know more, you can read the description box of this live stream. It's Halloween season, so it must be on the brain. So if you want to kind of know a little bit more about what's been happening, you can read that section there, and I just would ask for discretion. You guys are the best, and I know you'll understand. So, cherish the moments that you have with DreamingTabitha while you have them, is all I'm saying. When I go live, when you ring, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when I go live, because currently it is inconsistent and there's a good reason for that, but I still want to stream and do fun things. So, it's just, it'd be what it is. Life is what it is. But yeah, by the way, I know, with that being said, I have been a little bit behind. Well, actually I've been very behind with, the stuff for the members and my people over on Patreon and things like that. And I would say, I apologize, but again, I have a very good reason, and I do apologize, but it's like a weak apology because of that. But no, I still want to provide for you guys because you take care of me so well. And so I will be launching a new video for Patreon members and YouTube members, and I will also be having new coloring pages for the members as well. So new things are coming today. Want to get back on the wagon for all that. I appreciate your love and support. Always. It doesn't matter. It could be Thursday. It could be a dreary Tuesday back in April of this year. It doesn't matter. You guys are the best. But let me welcome you guys in, and then I'm going to show you what I started working on, because it is Inktober. It is day 2. So I'm like half a day behind because I started yesterday, but I didn't finish yesterday. So I'm going to have to double up today. But I see Retro Collective. Hello. DL, we already said, was waiting for his Like a Fool shirt. I love that people say that now. I go into my friends' comment section and they're already saying, like a fool, like a fool. Risk it for the biscuit. Doc the Butcher says, Jay jumped us off at Wicked, but she's not online. Oh, I saw the notification that she went live. Must have been a short stream. Lady Marine is here. Hello. And I'm not on Kick today. Now, I decided to keep it simple. We're just on the YouTube side. So, you got one of those. It is. They are very super comfy. If you're familiar with Nine Line Apparel, it's the same t-shirt that they use to print on. So there you go. iCanalist, good morning. A2D2. I hope that untrained, well, sort of, untamed Mando is treating you better. I hope she's sending you reels. I hope she's making you laugh because you deserve it, because she was a horrible friend, as the whole internet found out just a couple of days ago. Larry Knight is in the chat saying, hey, it's Tabitha time. It is Mighty Morphin Tabitha time. By the way, I'm so excited because Smooth the DJ let me know that K-pop Demon Hunters is coming to Fortnite. So we might just have to stream that today too. We might have to spend a little money to buy skins that we don't need, but we kind of do. So I know. How dare I have stuff in real life? The hypocrisy is that I get on Nomi's case for having real friends outside, and I don't appreciate it. But then when it happens for me, it's like, well, you've got to understand. You gotta understand. Your heart is healing from Mando's betrayal. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? To the wrong show? See, I'm still new with all that, and Smoo helps me, so I don't know. But I hope they've got good. They had better. There's got to be something like "Let Me Be Your Idol" in there, and we're going up, 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 or something like that. I don't know. It would be great. Hey, Tara Crystal. Sorry, I don't know why my voice broke like that. Good morning. I got a pretty good night's rest last night, so I am ready to draw. And what we're working on for Inktober, because over on, I asked on YouTube, Instagram, and on Twix over there, what should I draw for Inktober? And the creator for Death Shroud, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. The creator for Death Shroud, it was one of the Ripascend products that you could purchase a couple months ago. The creator of Death Shroud jumped into my little feed and said, for Inktober, I should draw Death Shroud. So we worked on that. Here's what I have. I'm in the coloring phases, so he looks a little weak, but I will also tell you that this hit a lot of the weak spots that I have. So much. I am not good at drawing skulls. I am not good at drawing fabric, like the whole thing about Death Shroud. I'm going to see if I can show you a picture. Let me remove this really quickly, and I'm going to show you what he is supposed to look like. And I just gave up last night. I was watching my friend Maria from the Geeky Crochet, and she was doing Inktober, and I decided to draw along with her, if you will, and behind the scenes. And this is Death Shroud. Okay, look at this guy. So there's a lot of intricacies that I have not quite gotten to, but look at the size of the shroud. Okay, like this thing is what this guy is all about. I have not read this. It looks really, really interesting. But and then he's got like this weird dragon gun that's kind of cool over here. So there's a lot of things about this. And then his legs, and I was on the struggle bus. Not only was I on the struggle bus because of the fact that these are not areas of my expertise, but also because of the fact that I decided last night to try to go back to traditional. So if you've been on the DreamingTabitha, if you've been a dreamer for a while here on the channel, you'll know that I started out with paper and pencil and coloring pencils and markers. I still have a whole bunch, and I'd like to go back to them, but the convenience of digital has definitely gotten to me. And so I tried to sketch that. I have that over here. I'll release it to the members, the sketch that we were trying to work with. But so this is what we've gotten so far. So he's just in the coloring phases. I'm playing around with stuff. It's not in, but I'm trying to also remember that this was a good exercise, and showing me where, the shroud is kind of sad. The shroud is sad, but fabric is hard. Has anybody out there tried to draw fabric? It is something that I need to work on. It is something that I need to really focus on, because everybody wears clothing. And if I really wanted to make it dynamic like this guy is, I gotta focus. I gotta focus, Leonard. Yes, I did, Maria. Get off my back, okay? So I started off with it. I used to do this where I would draw my characters with paper and pencil first, and then I would take a picture of it and then just do all the fine tuning in digital. So get off my back, Maria, okay? Get off of my She's like, I got you. Hi, Real Steven TV and Spider Unlimited. Finally made it out of the heck, aka workload. Yeah. So, I'm hoping. Yeah, no, we don't. By the way, Rizkit, I love the emote. You guys, not to be all what, but I'm thinking that maybe I've never really done Halloween, all right? But if I were to go do something with people for Halloween, I'm thinking of dressing as JD Vance as Hakeem Jeffries. I'm thinking of doing cultural appropriation as well as gender swapping. I think it would be fantastic. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, so you also notice that I cut off his legs because I'm like, I can't do this. I can't figure it out. What was I on your case? I didn't tell you that you should go digital. I didn't point my finger at you and shame you for not jumping onto the bandwagon of digital creations. It's called karma. You know what? Go drink your poison water, okay? You are behind on like 5 chugs, okay? If you guys don't know, over on Kick, Maria has redemption points for chugging water, and sometimes she doesn't honor the bond between streamer and viewer, and she should be shamed. 100%. Yes, Juanita Keem Jeffries is going to be Juanita Keem Jeffries Vance. That's who I'm going to go as for Halloween. Tara Crystal, I thought we was friends. By the way, I've totally missed this, but coming up, Larry Knight has gifted the community. I'm so bad at this. I don't even know where anything is. We're going to be updating the menu, boys, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, it is
Today is Friday. Today is Friday.
Thank you so much, Larry. You've already done so much for this channel. You just need to take a vacation, put that money on, and treat yourself to, a virgin strawberry daiquiri somewhere. That'd be great. I think I've had one of those before. I think it's good. Oh, well. You totally drank so much water last night. Well, you looked thirsty, got to stay hydrated. So also on the stream, it is now Friday, at least for the brush hour segment of time, it is Friday. Wow, Maria. You know what? You're just ungrateful. I don't know why, but you just are. She doesn't like the dinosaur one. So we should all point and shame Maria because she doesn't appreciate classic music like stomp, stomp, roar, roar. It's time for dinosaurs. Thank you. Look at Larry's just giving me the world right now. I'll lend you my black privilege so you can dress up as Hakeem. Thank you. You know what though? Hakeem, I don't know. I was going to make a comment and I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Being in the artistic world, you got to be careful because you don't want to necessarily alienate and like pick sides, if you will. You kind of want, artwork to be neutral. You don't want necessarily people to be turned away from you and your artwork and your business because of maybe political stances and things like that. And I try to keep it neutral here, but sometimes you just got to put on the hat and wear what you feel inside. So you're welcome, Maria. We're doing pretty good. Today we're doing pretty good. So anyway, I also had some commission work. And let me, I don't want you to see all of my stuff, but let me show you what Tabitha's been working on lately. By the way, I'm going to show this one. Maria had words are hard. Maria, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this out loud, but thank you. I just got the notification on my phone. Oh, I appreciate. I saw. I can't read the rest of the note because it will tear me apart. But we will definitely be getting some Fortnite skins. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the birthday stream. Okay, you called it a bun dragon. I called it a braggin. This is a braggin from Maria's stream. When we were gonna try to force Nomi to do something, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this. But it's also inspired by Watership Down. If you can't tell, if you know, you know. Watership Down, and why my screen is very low brightness setting. But commission work. It's around here somewhere. Working on some commission work, and I thought maybe if I finish Death Shroud in the time allowed, we could work. I was given permission, like, you're in the chat. It's good, right? Like, we talked about this. It's okay to show it off. I just want to be able to let people know what you're up to, just in case. But unless I've had several commission pieces, like this one this year. This one was super fun. I'm pretty sure Larry's okay with me mentioning this. If not, did it happen? Everybody forget what happened. There was this one. I've showed it before, so it shouldn't be a problem. Then I had this one was for a gamer. Typically, I stay within the Chibi range. That's my strong suit, but I had a really good reference for this one, so I just worked on this. But it was this was a fun project to work on. It was very complicated because the other one that the person wanted was AI generated. And they're like, can you do this for me? And I'm like, there's a lot happening here, on top of the fact that the original character had like 3 arms that didn't make sense what they were doing. And there was a bunch of nonsensical things around, which it looked like, we talked about this before, it was surface level beauty. But when you started looking in it, she didn't even realize that there were 3 arms. And I'm like, well, that's what my job is for. I point out the things that you would otherwise not see. And so that was super fun. Let me see here. And then one of my latest ones, I'm sure it's okay, right? It's okay. So I'll leave it anonymous who this was created for, but we've been working on this one for a certain company, and pretty happy with it. You can tell what has inspired some of it, but we made sure that there were a lot of differences to the original character than this. It was meant to be inspired by, not a replica or a duplicate thereof. So there are quite a few significant changes to the character so that it's not necessarily. Maria, thank you for being here. Always wonderful to see you. My word. Well, we're just gonna have to work hard for the hustle, Yes, thank you. It's awesome. I'm really happy with this one. I like the way that it came out. I used to shy away from like logos and stuff like that, but when it comes to character creation, it's a lot different versus logos. Logos back in college were not my strong suit. Of course, that was over 10 years ago. Is it over 10? How old am I? Yeah, a little over 10 years ago. So, but worked on this one. So I thought it'd be fun to also color this one. That was not necessarily asked for, but I like to do that. It'd be super fun to give it a try. Oh, I've shown all my stuff. Wow, I've shown like all of my stuff. Well, here we are. And then here's another one. This is how it started. Some of you might know this person. I'll leave them anonymous, even though their logo's there, but shh. And so this is what we're working on. This is how it's going. And so these are just some of the commissions. I have some other ones that are in the works right now, that some folks have been talking to me. It's been a really good year. I have some other commission pieces that I haven't showcased, but it's been really, really fun. So getting back to Death Shroud, let's see what we can do here. Good morning, JB Spooky Review. By the way, it is spooky season, and I had asked people on my gaming channel, should I start doing spooky games? Now, everybody's idea of spooky games are very different. Some people are like, oh yeah, you should totally do the horror ones. No, thank you. Sevi wants me to do the Outlast trials. I'd never heard of them before, Madam Sevi. Not Savvy, Sevi. I looked at it and she's like, it's not that scary. I'm like, Sevi, there are people that are getting skewered with drills because they have trauma with children. Risk it. That's the funny thing is, I was like, I think someone told me that I had like maybe 13% left of the game. And that might be the way to start off spooky season, is to finish Pumpkin Jack, because that game was hilarious. Also, I have to shout out. I know I'm not in Kick right now, but that was the game where Kick got me killed in the game because they surprised me with $500. This was back when Kick cared about its the smaller content creators. They don't care anymore. It was a good time while it lasted. Like they put me on the front page and then they gave me $500 for being me. Wow. So it's always kind of ironic whenever I get the bots in my chat now that are like, "Hey, are you tired of streaming to nobody?" I'm like, "Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am?" Yeah, it was a good video. Wasn't it? I'm like walking through the woods with my character, and my attention for just a second, I looked over at Kick and I saw this big thing, and that's when a tree fell on my character because I wasn't paying attention. Mortuary assistant? See, that's the thing. I don't want to play games that will scar me. Does anybody remember when I played Fortnite with Nomi and we played one of the indie things that had the Teletubbies and I got scared. Okay, phasmophobia, like demonology and phasmophobia are like my kind of my limit. But there's also Nomi and I are waiting for Haunted Paws, and then there's I was thinking about getting a spooky game. I just can't decide. I was thinking about playing Little Nightmares. That was recommended to me. Like it can't be scarring is where I draw my line. You know, Repo, Smooth the DJ, I think gifted me this game, and so I want to play that one. I don't know if it's if it's one player. I think it's multiplayer. Is it? So you know. There are spooky games. Do you like classic turn-based RPGs? There's a game called Costume Quest where you play trick or treat or say. Well, there's one with a doggy that I'm gonna get that's like that. I was thinking about playing BioShock again. Hello, Sammy from Miami. Yes, this is what I heard. She was the one that recommended. It's multiplayer. Okay. All right. I'm going to see if I can get started whilst I talk with everybody. And thank you again for being here. Be sure to hit the like button whilst you are here. But like I said, for those, JPS has become a new member. I love this thumbnail. It's the word paperclip on an N7 uniform. Shout out to Mass Effect, my favorite. Kelly girl! Oh my goodness. Kelly has a stay-at-home mom YouTube channel. Simply Kelly, or did you just go back to Kelly Tilly? I forget now. I liked Simply Kelly because Kelly is just simple Kelly. Kelly is one of the realest people you will ever meet. And she's wonderful. Hello. All right, let me see here. So let me find the right layer and we're going to color the nose. I think something that's throwing me off about this character is that, but by the way, thank you again for becoming a member. We are going to be having new stuff drop today for members. I don't know what tier level you signed up for, but we're going to be having coloring pages. There's going to be new behind the scenes videos. So coming soon. So thank you for your support. All right. So Death Shroud, I showed you what he looked like. So we're going to, I'm kind of keeping this loose and free because Inktober, you kind of have to work fast, right? And so I don't want to get too bogged down with stuff. He looks cool, but I will say that he kind of looks like the haunted version of a dwarf from Snow White, or like if a dwarf from Snow White teamed up with the Phantom from the Batman movie, the animated movie. So, you know, Cavatino, hello. You've been lurking. Be sure to throw the lurking Carl out there. See, now my heart's broken, JPS. Wow. No, it looks fantastic. I'll allow it because it looks like it makes sense. I'll allow it, except for the collar right behind it. But you know, it's a paperclip, so that it makes sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. I think that seems to be, there we go. Lurk and Carl. I think that seems to be consensus. So we'll need to start that up. I do. I want to pay attention to my gaming channel. We're at 300 hours out of 3,000 on YouTube. All right. All right. So the thing about Death Shroud is he has 4 eyes. Let me zoom in over here. They go glow blue. So what I think I need to do is get rid of this. And I'm going to make a new layer. There's always a new layer to be had. And I'm going to, I wonder if instead of, sorry, it's time to Here we go. We're going to make it a very light blue. Do I have the right? Nope, we have the wrong pen. Starting off strong. Thank you, you guys. You know, I have been reminiscing, and I'm so grateful for all of you, the new people, the old people, the OGs. I thank you for hanging out. Like I reflect on that often, where I remember the days where there's no shame in this, but I remember the days where I was streaming to like 8 people, 8 wonderful people. And I'm not mad about that, though it was wonderful. You build those bonds, you know. Oh, what is this? What's happening? But now I'm looking and I'm like 27 people. Oh my goodness. We're almost at 30 people watching me draw and talk about nonsensical things, hating on AI, thinking about AI, using AI, like just like, you know, okay. Also, yes, I saw that too. Nomi and I need to get back to couples therapy, but somebody decided to get a job on the weekends for a certain something, which is super cool, but I still kind of resent her for it. I did go back to Kelly Tilly. I saw others with simply in front of their name, so I decided to be original. Good. I hear ya. Oh, let me show you one other thing really quickly before we get back to that. The thumbnail, I'm working on my gaming thumbnails. Oh man, I need to work harder at organizing this. I will say that Procreate, their organization thing is a little, I don't know, weird. I wish that I could type in, well, those are commissions. Where's my gaming artwork? Where did it go? Oh, I didn't. Okay. So I finished the We Were Here Together couples therapy one. So I hope you guys enjoy, and you'll be seeing that soon. Hopefully. Nomi and I surely should start doing that, because this is kind of under spooky, under spookiness, because they remember the demon puppets. They're not actually demon puppets, but we call them that because they're very scary and they just kind of hang in the darkness. I need to talk to her. We were here together. Yes, we must get to it. And I need to get back to creating my little comic strip thingies too, because I need to make one with Maria and Moss on a yacht, and then the one with Sevi and I, where Mando abandoned us to a kraken and a death ghost ship. Thank you, Risket. Appreciate that. Throwing out Kelly's YouTube channel. Follow her if you enjoy easygoing content with some behind the scenes of what life is like for real women. Okay, real women, not fake women, not tropey women, not dudes trying to be women. Thank you. I appreciate. With the little birds. I thought it was an eagle at first flying. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but it's cool. Yeah. You try that. Telling that to Nomi, DL. Okay. Everybody, next time Nomi streams, everybody should flood her content, like comment section, with bring back couples therapy. We need to shame her into fixing her relationship with me. There will be no Raccoon Island trip if she doesn't get her act together. We both want to go to Raccoon Island. We've been planning for a year and a half now. But has she shown up? Have we worked out our microaggressions towards one another? No. Because somebody's too good. She made plans. Do you guys know? Do you know? She made plans with me. She made plans with me for last week, Monday, was it? To start up couples therapy. We're so excited. We're like, yeah, let's do it. Hell yeah, let's go. And then she texts me later. Actually, she doesn't text me. Here's the thing. I had to reach out to her. And I said, hey, are we good for tonight? And she's like, so here's the thing. I said, what is the thing? She's like, I forgot that I am playing with Moss and Smoo and all these other wonderful people tonight. I totally forgot. Now, the mystery is, did she make plans with me first, or did she make plans with them first? Either way, she treated us all like a fool. She treated us all like a fool. So, all right, this pen is super cool. I need to put it above layer 16. Let's see if this is the right color, but it gives this glow. I don't know if this is the right kind of pen, but this is kind of cool. We've gone for kind of a streaky, kind of grungy look with the painting of this. So I don't think it's a problem to kind of keep it streaky like that. Oh my. Oh my. I know, Kelly. Isn't that crazy? It's difficult because Nomi knows no shame. This is true. It's kind of like when I was drawing that picture and Mo came in the chat and he was like, I like the fact that it looks like Nomi has enough emotional capacity to care about somebody else, you know? Yeah, it's true. True story. But the official, if you guys don't know, it's going to come in the future. If we ever go to Raccoon Island, we will have Raccoon Island merch because the raccoon has become the mascot for us. You know, it is. I'd get a custom red hat, make anime American. No, I refuse. Larry says that's the rub. Yeah. Are my self-taught? I am 100%. I am there we go, Rizkid. I am a YouTube University forever student. Now I like this, but the glow is not the best. So I'm learning about the blurs. So let's see what this does for us. It kind of over blurs it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this layer. We're going to blur the under portion. Look at me using the big brain energy here. And see what that does. That's pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't want to meet him in a back alley on a dark night. Fro show. All right. So there's that. And then he's got like all these glowy things. Man, there's like so much to this character. Who took time to draw all this stuff? Not me. Whoo. But there is quite a bit of blandness to. I'm going to duplicate this as well. We're going to hide this. All right, let me go back to the brush that I were using. This is a little bit outside of the style that I've developed for myself too, which is always a cool thing to do, but there's no strong contrast with this character, so we need to fix that. Let's see. What do we got here? Looks like he has a toupee. That's weird. All right, we got to figure out what we're doing. I think I might need to lower the opacity a wee bit. And we're just going to slowly go around the edges here. Just kind of see what kind of madness. That helps. It's just that his shroud is weird, but, you know, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with Death Shroud. One of the eighth dwarf that went missing. That's what we're going with. Here we go. Story time. He fell prey. There used to be 8 dwarfs. And he was known as, well, figure that out. There used to be an 8th dwarf, but he succumbed to the power and the beauty of the evil queen. And so this is one reason why the 7 dwarfs are scared of the women and scared of humans, because they lost one of their members to the evilness of the queen. So that's where it is. I don't know what we call him. Shroudy? I don't know. Gothy. You know, he was obsessed with death or something like that, we could always say. And ergo, he, you know, he kind of gave into the whims of and the wiles of the evil queen. And so, you know, that's just, it is what it is. There we go. Let me fix this line right here. Sorry, I muted myself. I had a cough and then I forgot to bring myself back. All right. That doesn't make any sense either. Hang on. I can't see the there. That's pretty good. Tabitha, sounds like you need to hydrate. Yeah, probably. I've heard the same thing about this as well. That so how I stand. Hey, Chaz. How I stand on art school is that I don't think it's a bad thing for your foundation. In fact, there is a lot that I wish that I had learned in college and stuff like that. You know, I wish that I would have taken certain courses. I would have invested in different elements because it gives you an edge. it does give you a little bit of an edge. And I wish that I would have had that instead, because I have learned a lot in my own personal journey. The problem is that I've kind of had to learn back and forth. I've kind of had to learn backwards. All of a sudden it's like, oh, this is why. Like even with color theory, I've learned a lot of color theory, but I didn't learn color theory in college with the particular classes that I was taking. I didn't really learn a lot of that. And I think that kind of damaged a lot of the potential. I'm kind of set back a little bit. In my opinion, I could be so much further along had I learned some of these necessities, the foundation of artwork. That's where I wish I would have had more education. In college, they do, art schools, they do teach you that. And so I didn't, because like I said, the kind of classes that I was taking, and because I didn't have like a setup. No, it's okay. I don't mind. Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Do I want that? But I also, from what so I don't have the formal education that a lot of people have. And so that is just from my thing. It's like, I wish I would have had a better understanding of certain things. Wow, this pen's making it. A better understanding of certain things that are really crucial when it comes to the fundamentals of artwork. But at the same time, from different people that I've heard, from that have gone and had professional education will tell you it's not worth it. You can learn so much on your own, especially because of YouTube. You can save yourself thousands of dollars. Sometimes you need to invest thousands of dollars to have a better understanding. But I loved school. And the other thing that one of the important things that people forget when it comes to artwork, and I appreciate that my graphic design teacher was open and honest about this. He was my graphic design teacher and my photography teacher, because for a while I had a photography business, and sometimes I miss it. But anyway, he was like, you have to learn how to schmooze. He said, the thing is, he's like, they're not really going to be coming looking for your artwork. He's like, you have to make people invested in your artwork. You need to learn how to make people interested in who you are as a person, so that they're interested in their art and your artwork. And most artists, we don't want to hear that. We think to ourselves, my artwork is fantastic. Why wouldn't you love it? Because people, I remember actually watching a video, and it excuse me. It took years before I finally understood this, I've heard it throughout my artistic journey, but you don't want to agree with it. You don't want to come to terms with it. But Young Ripa produced a video, and he was explaining that the masses, they don't care about how much hard work you put into your artwork. Only people who artistically minded, typically, and I say artistically minded or appreciative, do they really care about the effort that you put into your art? They don't care that you spent 16 hours just to make your own yellow and get just the right whatever. They don't care what kind of sunlight you were sitting in whenever blah, blah, blah. They don't care about really the ins and outs. Most people don't. They might be interested on a curiosity level, but as far as being invested in your artwork for that, they don't care. They don't care. This is why, always circles back. This is why AI is so successful. Let me put it this way. It's fast. It has surface level beauty. I will admit that. Because people don't care about flaws or why you put the sun in the sky in that particular way. They don't care about the color choices. They just want to know, does it look good? And so that was a really hard lesson to have to devour. So I go back to saying that in art school, one of the benefits of going to art schools is that you can learn from other artists because they typically will bring artists into school and you can talk to them one-on-one. But you also are given opportunities to showcase your art in different ways. Like the schools will have art galleries, but not my school. It was a community college, it was an art school, but my school also would work with venues so that at the end of the year, we would be able to put our art pieces, the best ones that we had, we would be able to go out into the community, talk with people, get them invested in what we do, show them our display, bring whatever. We got the opportunity to learn how to, we call it schmoozing, but honestly, the fancy word is networking. That is something that the problem here is that art schools do not teach artists how to network. They don't teach them how to do business. Should be a crucial part of the curriculum. It's not. So that's why I appreciate my graphics teacher kind of hinting at that, kind of giving us an inside look. So they give you the opportunity to network, to schmooze, but they don't actually teach you how to do it. So if you have a person like me that is not naturally gifted with networking and business minded, you go to these venues, you go to this event and you just think, "Oh, I'm here so people get to look at my artwork," not realizing that half the job of selling art is getting people just to like you. That's hard when you have an hour time frame at a venue that's, and that's not what your mind is. You're just like, look at this picture that I did and it's amazing. And and also if you're introverted, like a lot of artists are, you kind of wait for people to talk to you, not realizing that half of the game also, or another portion of the game, I should say, is you interacting with people, you bringing people into yourself. People aren't going to just come up to you and be like, "So why did you make this?" They're just going to look at it at surface level. You as the artist have to get them invested in why you made it. And so they don't teach you that part. They should, but they don't. So this is the pros and the cons of art school. Is like they'll give you a good foundation for stuff. That's why maybe it's just better. I don't know. Maybe it's just better to go to community college and then learn the rest through books, experience, and YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, school is cool. Yeah, you glean from other artists, you get opportunities. I'm here on YouTube and fortunately I have met other artists thanks to like the art party and stuff like that. Once again, by the way, sorry that we had to cancel the art party last week. Again, if you read the description down below, it will give you an insight onto what has been happening. And so I appreciate that. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. For those that don't know, Rev Kev, he's been on the show before. He made a book. He made a book and a children's book. He did all the artwork himself. It's a beautiful little story. He sent it to me. Where is it? Well, we'll showcase it. And we were going to do a party kind of centered around the book. So we're going to bring that back. I'm going to see if he has time. Maybe we'll probably do an impromptu art party and then have another art party hopefully at the end of the month where it will be spooky themed. Last year's was so fun. Do you remember? We had to draw a mummy with a top hat. There had to be a stake involved and a plant, I think it was. And I was really happy with how I created mine. I'll have to throw those back up again. But Maria showed hers yesterday, and I remember the maker was on. We had so much fun with that. It was so cool. In school, you make mistakes. Yeah, and your teacher can kind of help you learn faster where to improve. So again, there's pros and cons to school. Everybody learns better in life, but there are a lot of benefits to learning from academic standpoints. Jabba the Whoop says, "Howdy, Tabitha. So good to see you, friend." Icanla says, "I went to film school and was told being successful was as much or more about other..." What? I am so sorry if these are real words and I'm just not pronouncing them. Much more about other being lucky or about who you know. It's about being good. Sounds similar to what you're talking. Yeah, it is more about who you know. And actually, there's a life coach that I follow here on YouTube, Tracy Hensel, and she would tell you that too, where most products. You guys remember Billy Mays? Come on, tell me you don't know about Billy Mays, okay? The OxyClean guy. I mean, yeah, we bought OxyClean because of course it works. It's a great product. But man, the energy he brought to the table, and it was kind of silly, but he was just so excited about it. And he was just the face of OxyClean. Billy Mays here for OxyClean. Another person. That is awesome. Hey, hello. You got a skull going on? I know. I need to be drawing. Okay, so another person, great example. Great example is the croc hunter himself, Steve Irwin. Crikey, mate. Who doesn't love Steve, right? And Terry. And there have been plenty of conservationists throughout time, but nobody got you to care and just love and want to watch crocodiles and all these kind of things the way that Steve Irwin did. His heart was in it. Not only was his I mean, that's a big part of it too. There's a lot of parts of it, but like passion, more energy, more passion. That was Steve Irwin. And so he just made you care. You got invested. Look, the guy's passed away over a decade ago, right? I don't even remember anymore. And it affected us all. Like, look, I don't really care that much about crocodiles, but at the same time, it was just like, wow, who's going to take his place? Not Steve. You know, we all kind of felt it when Steve passed away, and we still do to this day. The impression that he left on us, he got us to love him. That wasn't even really his purpose, but he did. He did. Has it been 20 years? Oh, is that Kafka? No, this is Death Shroud. Death Shroud. Chimp Lady, you mean with Jane Goodall? Is that who you're talking about? Anyone? And so you know who is doing a great job at marketing, kind of going back, making you love conservationism again and being invested in all this stuff, is his son, is Robert Irwin, Bob Irwin himself, who recently turned 21, and the whole internet found out really quickly where our minds are. So, this young man has the energy that his father brought to the table. But here's where Robert is like a genius, okay? I believe that he has the same passion and goals as his parents do. But he has learned how to market himself to gain attention for conservationism. Okay, so the minute he turns legal, at least here in the States anyway, he starts to showcase his assets, his abdomen and his finely chiseled muscles and everything like that. If you didn't see the advertisements for his underoos they're a different company. I just don't remember, but it took the internet by storm. And it was really weird because a lot of women my age and older, it was like Twilight all over again, where it was like, this is really awkward. This is really awkward seeing a lot of women suddenly like hounding a 21-year-old young man that we all knew as the son of Steve Irwin. And he was genius, though. I'm sure it strokes the eagle. I'm sure it strokes his ego, of course, that the whole female side of the internet just adores him. I mean, he's handsome, he's lovable, he's friendly, he's just got the energy. But he has figured out how to market himself through underwear advertisements, but he's now also on Dancing with the Stars. And I just showed up on my TikTok this morning, of course. I don't follow these things. It just kind of popped out of nowhere, but it had to do with these women surrounding a TV, and Robert Irwin was dancing, and then he tore off his shirt. And the whole crowd went wild, and these women started behaving like ravenous monkeys, just so excited about this. And while I don't necessarily agree with that, because you could do it for women as well, it's not something that is, I think, it's not for me, but it's brilliant. He has gotten a whole brand new generation of people, and the older generation of people, because we all love Steve Irwin. He's figured out how to market himself simply to point back to conservation conservationism there in Australia and around the world to carry on his father's legacy. This is a man who is brilliant at marketing. Now, it's very possible he has somebody that helps him, formulate a plan. At the same time, I kind of believe that he is just a mastermind of it because he's grown up, obviously, in technology era. So you have the legacy of his father, you have the passion that he has himself. You also have the opportunity. Talk about a person who doesn't squander his privilege. Now, I don't say that in a derogatory term. I mean, it's a privilege for him to be able to be handed a wonderful legacy, and he carries it on with flying colors. Like, people were excited about his sister. Okay. More people are excited about Robert Irwin than ever they were about Bindi. Bindi was wonderful because she was the first offspring of Steve and Terry. Robert is the one who figured out how to market himself so that people would be invested in conservationism. Brilliant. He figured out how to make people love him. Because, like I said, Bindi, and no shade on Bindi, she's busy with her family, she's busy doing her thing, but Bindi never really took advantage. She was on Dancing on the Stars, but nobody's talking about Bindi. Everybody's talking about Rob, or excuse me, dear old Bob. So he is a great person to learn from when it comes to marketing oneself. Just saying. It helps that he is attractive. But you know what I love about him too, and I'm just gonna be like that, is that he is like a manly, good-looking guy. Like, he's not just pretty. I don't think Robert Irwin is pretty. I like it when men aren't pretty. He's very handsome because he just looks like a man. And I like that. He looks like his dad, but I see a lot of his mom in him too. And somehow Terry Irwin as a man, very attractive. I didn't think I would say that. Hey, Agradol, good morning. I know, it kind of looks like Skeletor from He-Man, but I swear I'm trying to do Death Shroud. Yep, the Flex Seal vibe. That's why you'll look at your favorite YouTubers and the ones that make it, and they've got something weird about them or some shtick about them. And that's, again, the great thing about Robert Irwin. He doesn't make it all about his body, right? There's some people that just, they ride that train and it dies because it's like, well, once you've seen it, you've seen it. But Rob doesn't go out here like all the time without a shirt on doing this, that, the third. That's not what he markets himself as. He markets himself as a passionate person about animal rescue. But then he'll throw in these little things, that make us get attention, grab our attention, make us want to flock and see more. Like, what else can he pull out of his hat? It's one of these things. Brilliant minded person. All right. Welcome to my TED Talk. Honestly, it's like those calendars. I don't know. It's just not for me. That's just how I see it. But it's like those calendars, those weird calendars where you've got like a really hot guy holding a kitten. Ew. I don't know. It's just not for me. I'm not that kind of person. So when I saw Robert Irwin, flaunting his stuff there, it was like, wow. It was a moment of, wow. He became a really handsome person and very impressive. I will say, very impressive campaign there. And he literally made his underwear campaign to bring awareness to conservationism. It was like a Calvin Klein ad, but it wasn't Calvin Klein. It was like an Australian ad. It was basically though, it was a Calvin Klein ad. And then you watch his videos afterwards. And when he would do his shows at the Australian Zoo, even his mom was on board with that, making jokes about his underwear. So everything pointed back to the zoo. Genius. But yeah, I don't have any of those either, Biggles. I would be nervous if you had them. They're not for me though. I look at it and I'm like, I don't understand. I think I'm too critical or cynical. I don't know. When I look at that and when I see a really hot guy holding a kitten, doing a photo shoot of one of these things, my mind isn't like, oh my gosh, I would just want to drool. And I don't have all these thoughts about I just can't wait to I just want to touch it. My thoughts are like, why are you naked in a field? And is that your cat? Can you pay your bills? Is that even your cat? What is this? I'm too practical, too logical minded. This is ridiculous. I can't, it's not my kind of fantasy. It's not my kind of fantasy. Be like, can you pay your bills? Like, show me a man who's doing dishes. Show me an attractive man who is doing dishes and has a clean house, and I will put that on the calendar. No, usually it's well, I don't know. Usually it's one color, I would imagine. Yeah. I had a car one on my wall for 10 years before someone was like, "Oh, this is 2008." Hey, if it looks good, if you enjoy it, whatever. You do you. All right. We're getting some more contrast in here because these are comic book characters and they have a lot of contrast. I haven't even gotten to his skin there, but it's not for me. Hot guys, nothing wrong with hot guys, but when you're just a hot guy, I don't get it. It's just not for me. I need a hot guy doing something practical. Be like, oh, here's a picture of a hot guy paying his taxes. Perfect. I know everybody's version of hot is different too. But I'm just saying, it's never been my thing. I've always been kind of weird with my friends about that. They would gloat, and everything. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's all surface level over substance. Like it's just, like, yeah, well, he's just really pretty to look at. I'm like, if I want something pretty to look at, I'll draw it myself. I don't know. I'll go outside and look at dogs or something. I don't know. As you should, because we're all adults and we need to take care of our homes. What about a giant cat in underwear holding a man? I maybe, because that would be a novelty in and of itself. I'll allow it. So funny. All right, we're looking a little bit better here now that we have some contrast. I probably will have to come back around to it. I do feel like his shroud needs something, but I don't know what that would be. I'm lost in the woods. So maybe it just needs more passion, more energy. I think it's raining outside. I don't know. I mean, that already helps. Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. Like, I think that sounds very Monty Python-ish, That's funny. I don't know if that was the way to go. But, I mean, there would be shadows behind him because this is like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's talk it through, Tabitha. Let's make it make sense. It does look more billowy, but now I'm afraid it looks like a weird parachute. I don't know. I'm trying not to overcomplicate it because that's, it's what I do. And this is also a different kind of art style. It's not something I typically do. So we're trying something different, but I think it helps. It always rains in Florida. It hasn't rained the past couple of days since I've been back. So, but I'm okay. I do love me a gloomy day. Plus, if we are doing spooky games tonight, well, I mean, it sets the tone, doesn't it? Hang on, I'm going to... What time is it? Oh, we have definitely come to the brush hour. We haven't even gotten to our other things, but I appreciate everybody. Oops. Being here. It's causing our chaos. I need to get back to making my little shorts, my little history shorts. Hope you guys have been enjoying those. I think they've been fun. I might even do one on Robert Irwin himself. Genius man of action. And his lovely, lovely mother. It's so sweet. I don't know why we're talking about the Irwins. Like, where did that come from? But somebody had asked Terry Irwin in an interview if she would ever get married again. And I don't quote me word for word here. This particular part, I don't think she said she would never get married again, but she basically just said probably not. She said, because when you've met your soulmate, there's nobody else. Oh. You learn a lot from my little history shorts? Oh, thank you. I know people were really concerned about the Labubu one that I did. Not a freak. I was also going to start my stream right now. You do it, man. Go out and get it. Go and get it, as Moss would say. Okay, so 2026 is going to be a fun year. Tabitha is going to attempt animation. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. Might as well. Carpe the diem, you know? I'm going to attempt some animation, and Moss and I are going to work on an amazing project that needs to happen. 2026, look for it. Oh my. I would love to say it's this year, but I've already got so many projects that I need to fill you guys in on. Now is not the time. No, I don't like that. This is in the back. He looks a little bit better, right? He's still not totally done. He is a hot mess of something. This is definitely not like my best work. So if you're just popping in and you're like, wow, this is not my best work, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fun. It's very liberating. But I mean, it looks like a something. The thing is, too, with this character, Death Shroud, the references that I have are two different color palettes. So the one that I'm basing this one off of, he's very blue, he's silver, metallic, kind of purplish. The other one is his shroud is more of an eggplant color or maroon color. And then he's got like more like old bone colored structure going on. So I didn't know who to base it on. And since I love blue, here we go. Looks good. Thank you so much. Chaz says animation. Yeah, I've wanted to try to get into that. And so we're going to try. All right. What colors do we need here? He's mainly black in this area. I'm not really sure what to do with him here. Because I'm basically trying to I'm smurging two different color styles for Mr. Man here. And we might just leave it very painterly. Might just need to be the route that we go. I wanted you to be able to see his muscles, but it's going to take too much time because I need to finish day 2 of Inktober. Exactly. Roll Tide. No, not yet. So I'm going to draw the yacht myself. Moss has absolutely become one of the funniest people I know on the internet, and I adore him. Moss is good people. Don't let me fool you. Moss is good people. She got that poor man to drink mayonnaise. But he set himself up for it. I mean, he should have known better. This gun is going to be weird. Oh, I believe it. 100%. All right. Roll Tide. When he says War Eagle, like the Roll Tide's funny, but then all of a sudden when he switches over to War Eagle, he had me in stitches when they were playing Among Us the other night. And then I redeemed an accent for Smeagol talking in an Alabama accent. I lost my cool. I was laughing so hard. It was wonderful. I kind of wonder if the line work that I have for this character, if it messes with the style too. If I got rid of the line work, it would look terrible, I think. Well, actually, ooh. That's actually really cool. Ooh, Larry's a bad man. It's funnier because it's usually unintentional, 100%. Man, this looks good. I'm going to keep the lines up because they're my guidance point here. But, all All right, so we did that. So now we're going to lighten the load a little bit here. Oops. I gotta get you. This brush is kind of like sideways, so I kind of have to. I hope everybody's having a good day, though. There we go. Ooh. Oops. Let me shrinky dink that. Moment of silence for the artist. I'm enjoying this now. Not that I wasn't before, but like all of a sudden we're like, it's coming together. Trying to make sure you can see the hand separate, but I don't know if that's. I need to finish my Dan Vast painting. This is like getting me in the mood to want to paint. That looks better. I do kind of think like a morning to survive in about 20 minutes. I hope that you survive. You're a survivor. I do wonder if this, let's go over here. I'm trying to just look at the colors that. Ooh. We can always play around with that. Let's go and try that here. Hey, we love us a good Reba moment. A single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. Her accent's so funny too. It's funny because she has such a thick accent, right? And she's from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have somebody like Rue McClellan, who played as Blanche Devereaux from the Golden Girls. And her accent was fake. And when she talked for real, she didn't have much of a drawl. And I understand that for everybody, depending on who your parents are or where you come from, where did you go? If Cotton Eye Joe is not your father, you probably don't have that thick of an accent. But it's just kind of funny having two ladies from the same state having wildly, I guess, different accents. She definitely did pull off the deep South, prestigious Georgia girl, kind of accent, which is very different from those people from like Oklahoma, Texas, Virginia, stuff like that. But still, like you listen to her when she talked for real, and it definitely did not sound like Reba. I don't know where her parents were from, but I'm a single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops. Like the way she talks, like everything kind of comes with a like her. She doesn't really like she wraps her lips around her teeth. And never like fully opens up the back of her throat. That's the best way I could describe it. Dolly does something similar to that too. Of course, she's from Tennessee, but it's a little bit more sing-songy, I would say, when she talks. But it's all right. So he's pretty cool. I don't know if I need to do too much more with him just because I might ruin the aesthetic. But at the same time, I see one little area that I'd like to work with. Maybe. Because, even if this part of your nose is missing, you would still have this section here that needs to have shadow. So, because I do feel like his face is Yeah, I feel like there was just too much brightness going on here. Much better. Just too much brightness. Oops. Got a little carried away. I mean, he needs to have bright spots, of course, but let's try to go back and try to make it make sense. It's a good show, the Reba. I started watching her new one. It's good, but it's definitely not as fun. It's never gonna, recapture the magic of the show. But I liked it because her and Melissa, what's her name, who played as Barbara Jean, they just have such a great, chemistry. So funny. So funny. Yeah, I like this. His teeth are too white. He's seen the Crest commercials too many times. Oh, we are on the wrong layer apparently. Okay, and then I'm gonna alpha lock this. Wait, that's not the teeth. Where's the teeth? Oh, that's the teeth. All right, let's try to paint some teeth here. I guess I keep it in the blue family, not the yellow family. Oh yeah, him. That kid learned how to steal the show. He was fantastic. It definitely was Reba, Barbara Jean, and Van who were the stars of that show. Everybody else was just kind of like accompanying, members. And no shade to them, but it was just, yeah, he clearly, yeah. He didn't really have a long acting gig, if I'm not mistaken. I am hungry like a hippopotamus. Ooh, kind of reminds me that I did not eat breakfast. Shame on Tabitha. I got something at the store the other day called Barbie shakes. Now, I didn't get it because it was Barbie, or maybe I did. I don't know. It was strawberry. So I want to give that a try. I don't know. It just seems like that's a good way to go. I don't like jumping on bandwagons for diets and stuff like that. But, shakes are supposed to, you usually have a lot of fruits and veggies and things like that in there. So I wanted to give it a try. I'm going to give the Barbie smoothie a try. Okay, everybody's a big fan of that show. Come on. I don't think you have to be a woman to appreciate that show. It's a good show. Okay, that looks a lot better. And now let's take off the... Ooh. I wonder if, with that being the case, I need to darken up here a little more. Definitely up here. Well, that might have been a little too much. Great. No, that has nothing to do with what I just did. All right, hang on. Yeah. Ooh. Man. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I do think that he needs stronger contrast in his body as well. So we're going to go back here and revisit this. And I might just go we going dark. Hello, Dengar Renegade. How are you? He was on an HBO show or something like that with William H. Macy for a long time. Oh, was that the ranch one or whatever it was? Wait, am I on the right layer? Yes, I am. Okay. And why is it not? It's not really as dark as I was hoping. We gotta go dark. Yeah. Let's just give that a try. But let's lower the opaque. Now, if you want me to ever, like, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, dang, Tabitha, could you do something like that for me? Look, I'm just going to be real with you. This is an accident. I could try, but I don't have enough skill in this to be like, yeah, this is what I do. This is kind of an experiment right now. But I mean, he looks good. And it's not something that I couldn't try to recreate, but my style has kind of developed in a little bit into kind of like cell shading and things like that. So for those that might just be joining and be like, what is cell shading? It's kind of like this, where it's just minimal colors. I know there's a lot of colors here, but if you look at the characters, I try to keep it where there's only like 2 or 3 colors per characters when it comes to skin tone and stuff like that. So just throwing that out there, it's kind of simple. I do get a little bit more complex sometimes, but you can see where it's not necessarily blended. I'm working on that. I'm learning how to kind of create gradients and things like that. Again, this was another project where I was practicing things, learning about the blending and whatever, and I love doing that. But currently, like, this is my kind of style. And so if you're wanting something more painterly, I could. I'm not saying I can't, because this isn't the first time I've done something like that. I kind of sort of did it a little bit here with my Cara Dune one. As you can see, it's a little more rough looking, but this is definitely a really great practice. It's not exactly Inktober, but it is. I last year with Inktober, I was trying to do things, that were specifically made out of ink. But what are you gonna do? Like, tell Maria, get off my case. All right. So let me get my lines back up in here, just so I can kind of, yeah, we definitely needed some definition here in the fingers, because they're all just kind of, it's just blending together. Problem is that this area in here needs to be dark too, and I'm afraid that that's like taking away from the hand, but if I, kind of losing track of what is the hand, what is not. What is a hand? So that's also something to consider whenever you're drawing and stuff like that. I didn't put much thought, honestly, into when I was creating it. So that is where I'm developing a conundrum, is because of the placement of the arms and stuff like that. So when I was going to go color this, it's like it blends into his thigh. Maybe it would make a difference if there was the rest of the leg, but we're not doing that because this is meant to just be a simple practice. And, I'm kind of doing it as a courtesy since somebody recommended it to me on the social medias, and I thought it would be a great idea. Obviously, if you were to hire me, I would give you legs, unless you didn't want legs, not everybody has them. So, it just depends on what your need is for. Nope. Kind of want him to have his muscles because he's a muscular dude. Shameless, that's the one I was thinking of. He was on until 2001. He still got stuff coming out since. Oh, well, good for him. You draw from the soul, you can read. Maybe. Joe died like a fool. Yeah, she did. Push the button, Joe. I know. I need to finish Split Fiction with Joe as well. Okay, so this is good. Now let's see. Let's see if we can't finish. This is going to be the whole try and finish something stretch. All right, his gun pretty much. Like, oh man, I'm seeing so many details that are lost. Like on his arm here, I forget what gauntlet, whatever they're called, supposed to have like a skull on it, but we're not going to get to that many details. We're just keep it minimal. Keep it minimal. All right. I'm going to do I want to? I think that for this one, we're going to switch over to syrup. This is my main brush that I use. It has the cleaner lines and whatever, but we're still going to give it the painterly vibe when we color it. They are a lot of fun. I laugh so hard. I can't get frustrated at Joe when we play these games because it's so funny. You know, and she tries and she'll tell me, "Look, I am bad at these games." You know, so if somebody's that honest with you, it's like, and it's funny because I would say I'm not necessarily bad at those games. I'm pretty good at them. You know, if you know, you know. But at the same time, I mean, I have my problems that I have with those games too, but it's just so funny when when you think it's the easiest thing, and for some reason she still has the problems. All right, so this gun has green stuff coming out. So we're gonna try to color all this. I'm gonna create a clipping mask. We're gonna go back into, now that we know what we're doing, we're going to, what had happened is she died like a fool. I know. I don't have a proper video of this one. So you kind of had to be there. This is probably my favorite comic page that I created right here is this one. It worked out so well. And this is another thing, like people aren't going to understand why I'm proud of this. You can be like, well, it looks good. It's not just because it looks good. It's because of the effort that went into there. So when you're creating these comic pages, it's based on real life events. This is not exactly how this happened. Okay. All of this happened like over a period of time. So me as the artist, the creator, I have to figure out how can I take like 7 to 10 minutes worth of an experience and create it in like a 15-second experience, because that's about how long it takes to maybe read this and understand and comprehend this. And so you have to have the right colors. You got to have the right poses. You need to know how many panels to have. You have to simplify a moment so that it's still clear and powerful, the impact. So this is one of the ones that I'm so proud of. Like the other ones make sense too. I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory for some, for whatever it is that you need. This one maybe needs a little bit more context to it, but this one, you know exactly what happened. You might not know that we played video games. This might be based off an imagination, a movie, a video game. It doesn't matter. The story tells itself. It's some kind of super sci-fi kind of experience. It's, the words need to be modified so you understand. It's like, okay, we've got two characters. One's name is Joe. We need to get the shields up before the next blast comes. Then that little panel here that, has Joe sweating. It's like, oh, this is an intense moment. This is going really, really quickly. You can tell by the expression on my character's face up top that I'm confident. I'm like, we got this. Just push the button so we can get the shields up. And then the nervousness of Joe right here. And then this panel, but what do I do? And she's just like, she's given up, and then having the irony of just, because I had it where the push wasn't there. But it's like, that doesn't, I need it to be so obvious what she's supposed to do so that the hilarity will transfer into this comic. And then having, the the last panel, which is so super cute. I will say that a lot of that I traced from somebody else because, as I've stated before, skulls are not my forte. They're very difficult for me. Plus, he wanted to kind of keep it cute, so I kind of copied some other stuff, some other artwork that I saw. I think I made some changes to it so that way it was more fitting for what my style, like it matched the rest of all this kind of stuff. But it turned it chef's kiss. So that's what I'm saying. Like trying to simplify a 10-minute moment into a 15-second moment takes a lot of effort. And this one I think was executed perfectly. I don't think there could have been a better way to do this. And so this is going back to what I was saying, where it's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares how I got to where. And I say that loosely. There are some people that do, but on a grand scale, nobody cares how I got to the conclusion. They only want to see the conclusion. They just want to see the finished product. And so that's why I'm really proud. I'm really proud of it. Okay, all right, ink roll. Let me make sure this is the right one. Right one. Yeah, it's the right one. All right, so let's look at this gun. It's gonna be all right. Let's see. We got nope. Got teeth. It's like a shiny metallic kind of looking thing. Don't know what this is back down here, but we're just gonna. We need the shine. There, and then maybe. We're just kind of winging it here. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, something like that's okay. And then we need the darkness. Darkness. How about this? Maybe a little bit of the blue. Although I need it to be, honestly, in the green family. Here we go. Because it's going to have light in it. And so it's going to reflect off of the rest of the metallic color. So I'm going to kind of paint in the mouth here. And some of that will transfer there. And then I'm going to do that. Because it's going to, let's see, it's going to have that shine to it. And so this will also. I think it was Bob Ross that says sometimes you got to make the noises, you know. All right. Nope, wrong way. Not so much. I'll do it this way. Not so much back here because the blue. All right, let's make that bigger. I don't like that. As soon as this stream's done, I gotta hop over to Fortnite and get the updates and see about those, skins. Yeah, it's weird that it's green, but it will make sense later on. I just have to make sure the green kind of matches the vibe of. See, what's interesting is this guy also. Did I mess up? Is that supposed to be? Oh no, I think I messed up. Hang on. Where is it? Not that one. What? Interesting. Was that layer not supposed to be part of? I guess not. Pea soup. I'm confused. Oh well. Okay, there's not a lot of darkness here, so let's go darker. Let me get back on the right one. Yeah. I need to get back. I was thinking the other day, I need to get back into the Legend of Zelda games that I never finished. I know I started Tears of the Kingdom, really enjoyed it, never finished it, like so many games. All right, he looks kind of weird, but I kind of wonder now if I do this, and we'll get our light brush here. Let me zoom in on this little guy. His eye, is like this. And he kind of has that going on. Let me see here. I'm going to duplicate this and once again, try to blur it. Can't really tell. And then what if I change the saturation? Something like that. Okay. Why do you ask questions like that, DL? A lot. So he's got smoke coming out of his. Let me do another one. He's got smoke coming out of the mouth. I don't know if I want to do smoke. I don't really know how to do smoke. That looks ridiculous. kind of takes away from the teeth and everything like that. So what I might have to do, go in here and we erase this green, and then we'll go here and we do the same. And then underneath of this, switch over to light brush. Oh, maybe not that. We do something kind of like this. Nope. Yeah, something like that. And then we can go back up here. Let's see, that's too big. I wonder if it needs to be, let's go back down to luminescence, light leak. Oh, that's too big. No, I don't know what that does. Okay. Oh, there was supposed to be this flare too. Maybe this is too dark a color. So we go up this way. Oh, that's pretty. Excuse me. I mean, that's evil. You know. You probably still got games from your childhood you haven't finished. Oh, of course. I actually, when I went to go visit my parents this last time, I brought my Sega Genesis that I had been gifted a couple of years ago from my church. Actually, I was the kid's Sunday school teacher, and when my time was over, they had a little ceremony for me, which was so sweet. And I got, one of them was like a Sega Genesis, like a modified little mini Sega Genesis. Actually, hang on a second. So here it is. It's a mini Sega Genesis, and it already has games pre-installed on it. But you also are able to put games in it as well. So I just had to figure out how to modify this. I don't know that I could get it hooked up to the computer, but if I got one of those little TVs to play it again, that'd be so fun. Came with a controller and everything. Oh, yeah, because they were just too hard for us when we were kids. Oh, yeah, same. Okay, I really like the way this turned out. I just wonder if too many lens flares. But it's kind of cool looking. All right, let's take off the... I mean, let me see here. Let's take off this. Wow, you can't really see the teeth. So what I would have to do is go here. I'm going to switch over to syrup again. We get our teeth. Got to make them look vicious again. Oops, that didn't work. We don't want derpy. We want to do them justice, you know? Justice for Death Shroud. Does that look okay? Probably. He probably needs more teeth. You know, let's be real. Does that look better? That looks better. You know, I'm allow it. There's probably an adapter. Probably. I just don't have that right now. Your brother's still waiting for you to find him in the last game of hide and seek you two play together. Probably. That's good. So the last thing I'm going to do, I say the last thing. Wait a minute. Let me look at this guy one more time. He's got blue glowing thingies. Hang on. Shoot. I don't have the color anymore. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get close enough. He's got blue glowy thingies on his arms and stuff like that. So we're going to, maybe this will help. Like, oh my goodness. He's supposed to have like this blue glowing thing here. And let's see if we can try to put them where they're needed. He's got a lot of them. I'm afraid if I do too many, it will just really overpower the care and like take away. But let's just kind of see. He's got some like on his thighs and stuff like that too. But again, it's meant to be like painterly. So then he's got one that's like up here. But I do wish that it would like. I don't like that. Yeah, it doesn't match if it's kind of clean looking. You know, it's got to be a little bit janky. But I want I don't like it. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. It's all right. I just feel like that takes away from his eyes, though. But he's got like all these, like, even on this other side, he's supposed to have like these blue glowing things. And I think that takes away from his character. I think it takes away from the painterly aspect of it, too. So if I got rid of all of that here, that would be okay here. You know, I know it would kind of sort of separate the arm, the hand, but I think we're almost done with this weird Inktober drawing that we have going on. I'm going to make it a little darker black here. This needs to, oops. And then make it black. Okay, but I feel like it's not quite as black as it should be. Oops. Oops. We're coming down to it, folks. I want to again always thank you for being a part of the show. We have had some very interesting conversations today, have we not? Robert Irwin and his abs, art school and schmoozing, never a dull time. You know, something that I thought about today that our children and their children will never have to think about is the dollar bill and the presidents that go on the bills. Because as we're moving our currency over to digital and the use of pennies and things like that are no longer in existence, it's going to be harder for anybody to remember who is on the dollar bill or on the $100 bill, which president belongs to what bill. Because since we're moving to cashless society, there's no longer this need to know unless it's just for historical significance. And that to me is a little sad. But it is what it is. Just fun thoughts with Tabitha. Oh, I like this. This works out really well. I think that helps. It needed, well, it's a little much here. I don't know if it's like necessarily that we're moving toward, I mean, we kind of are moving towards with like Bitcoin and whatever like that, whether that's the biblical aspect. I don't know. I don't know if the Bible ever actually mentions one world currency, but you know, because like the mark of the beast and stuff like that doesn't necessarily mean it's the currency of the world. It just is a marker to indicate that you believe a certain way. So I don't know whether that's going to turn it into one world currency or if it's just a marker to indicate that you believe this, this, and this. So and this needs to be a little bit green. I don't know. Do we need let's just Well, no, that doesn't make sense. But, you know, there would be, what's it called when they have scattered something? That's what it called. Surface scattering. Let me see. Can I just make this another clipping mask? Well, it wouldn't be up top. It would be down here. I feel like this hand down here got the worst of it. The hand looks cool, but the coloring is not. It's really sad. I'm gonna attempt like one last time to try and fix it. Oops. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the right? Yeah. Try to separate it from the finger a little bit more. Just a little bit anyway. Makes it really hard. And then that helps a little bit. It is what it is. All right. Inktober. Let's get our technical pen. And then I'm going to sign it in the green because I think it's pretty. As long as it doesn't take away from. I made a lot of art this year. That's pretty cool. Hey, Skurd Ferguson, how are you? Yeah, you can't buy or sell, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a one world currency. But I can see that we're moving that way. But at the same time, I don't know, with this kind of era, it kind of feels like I don't really know if it will come to pass with one world currency, at least not in our generation, because we're starting to understand the importance of, I don't know if I have the right word for this, but assimilation, identity. A country's identity. We're finally waking up and realizing that we're losing the identity of each individual country, what makes them unique, what makes them stand out. And so I don't think we're anywhere close yet. Maybe the EU, you know, maybe Europe, because they're so wishy-washy, but they're even having an awakening where they're realizing we need to get our culture back. And so it's possible that they will not do so much with the one world unless they just got to get new leadership and everything like that. Now, I bet this guy does not translate well on white. Yeah. So what are we going to need this to be? Let's see. What kind of color? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, gee, what's up? Hello. I like him a lot too, this painterly vibe. So we are going to download that and I'm going to be posting it on the Twitter. If you follow me over on Twix, feel free to leave a like over there and a comment saying that you saw this live and in action. That would be really cool. And then hopefully the creator of Death Shroud feels like I did his character justice. I mean, again, you know, we're just going to pretend like Death Shroud was the 8th dwarf that got seduced by the evil queen, and now he's on a rampage to do whatever it is that Death Shroud does. If you enjoyed this kind of stuff, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, give it a like on your way out for this wonderful era of the brush hour. And we'll be back, and hopefully we're going to be doing some spooky games over there on Kick and on my YouTube channel. The link should be down below. Of course, something's happening with Kick right now, who God only knows. Love Kick, but at the same time, weird stuff. So if you want to follow me over in Kick, I would love to have you over there. It's where I do predominantly do all of my gaming. And then there's also, let me just go ahead. I should get this fast. I need one more subscriber to hit 60 over on my gaming channel. So let me copy this. So if you want to follow me over there, you can. Be sure to look at the pinned comment, the pinned link in the comment section if you want to get your Make Art Not Content t-shirt. We do love us a good t-shirt, nice comfy cozy t-shirt. Make Art Not Content. Or you can get your Like a Fool t-shirt. It is limited time. Now I know I've been saying that. I know that I've been saying it's been a limited time for a little bit here. But that's because I was away. And again, if you're interested in knowing what's been kind of happening, you can check out the description. But you can get your Like a Fool t-shirt, available in 3 different colors: black, heather gray, and slightly uncomfortable yellowish brown. Because if you've ever tried to escape the back rooms, then you know that you're always going to be somewhat slightly uncomfortable. Thank you all for your love and your support. Until next time, don't be a fool. Oh, wow.
I died.
Well,
guys, I died.
Well, there was a reason we were in the rowboat, Nomi.
How did you die?
Because she went in the water like a fool, What do you think the rowboat was for? Wait. Nomi, did you do it for the science?
I was trying to go get some ice cream.
You could have redeemed yourself and said, guys, I did it for the science, and I would have respected you. But since you did it for ice cream, I can't respect that.
I was gonna bring you some.
It's still not for the science.
Row your boat
Gently down the street.
down the stream.
Man, this thing turned.
Life is but a dream.